Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, present you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
What's going on, everybody? This is AEW star Swerve Strickland. And December 29th, I am coming to Queens, New York, the Wrestling Universe, for a signing between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Get your reserves. Get there. Let's hang out. Let's have a good time.
Whose house? It's Swerve's house. That's whose house it is. And on December 29th, Swerve Strickland will be at the Wrestling Universe for a meet and greet. You can come and hang out with him. I thought I'd kick off the show with that. And let's kick off the show with this. Happy Thanksgiving. Make sure tomorrow you get ready to eat, have your stuffing, and get ready to relax and enjoy life and enjoy family, friends.
I'm definitely going to enjoy the turkey. I'll tell you that.
Whoever you have, be happy that you have them. And if you have no one, then maybe reevaluate your situation and go find some people to have some Thanksgiving with.
Yeah, come celebrate with us.
We all have somebody. Come celebrate with Jay, with Savage. We got the turkey, we got the stuffing, we got the sweet potatoes.
I want people to come.
My God, it's going to be a good day tomorrow. So I'm very excited to eat tomorrow, Jay.
I already saw the stuff. I picked the stuff. I'm waiting to eat the stuff.
What's your favorite? Like the one that you have to go back to the next day and always get more? If there's any left.
Well, I don't think there's be any left, but I would definitely go back to that turkey and get that breast right there. That's turkey my thing right there.
For me, I go back to the mac and cheese, man. The mac and cheese is serious, man.
I was never a mac and cheese fan. That's
you haven't tried our family's mac and cheese. I think you need to try it out. Did you watch Collision this Saturday? Which, by the way,
did. Well, it was Friday.
Record low numbers, by the way.
270,000 to be exact.
That's like there's more CM Punk fans than that.
I mean, are we surprised? I mean, they're going up against juggernaut at WWE. I mean,
they're going up against SmackDown. Bold move, by the way. I guess maybe they just wanted to test the waters, maybe, or was it convenience, or they had to?
I think the water's been tested and it's failed.
I think that ship sunk a long time ago.
I think it's
my God. So let's just get through Collision real quick because I want to get the full gear, which is what I enjoyed the most out of the weekend. 3-hour special show kicked off with Tony Schiavone welcoming Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus to the ring for an interview. Cage gave a great promo to hype up his trio match at Full Gear. God's Forsaken Champion overpowered the Red Death. Dominated the first few minutes with ease. I don't know why we're crushing Garcia like this. There's a number of opponents that they could have gave.
He has no personality.
We're just crushing Garcia. He tried to get in some offense, but he was stopped in his tracks each time he gained a little momentum. So obviously we knew Miro would win that one. The Kings of the Black Throne versus the Boys. And this was a glorified squash match. The King in Black won in just a couple of minutes. It was entertaining exhibition, but it was filler content. Let's be honest. We get to our next matchup here. The beginning of this match saw a lot of trash talk from all four men before the action even started. But once they got going, the Luchadors hit a few high-flying moves to make it an exciting exchange. But in the end, Beretta ended up getting the win by hitting the strong zero on Commander.
I didn't like that. You know why? Because it was Penta. It should have been Penta. They were in LA. It makes sense. And I just didn't get this. I didn't like the finish.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of this match either. But Wardlow versus some unfortunate soul, SVN or something.
Evan Daniels, right there. Look. Right there in his tire, Evan Daniels.
Evan Daniels. Well, now we know who he is, but I didn't know who the hell this was. Again, powerbomb, but continuing to build up Wardlow. Our next matchup, which on paper is a pay-per-view quality match, Dax Hardwood versus Roosh. You could watch any night of the week, and it would probably deliver. This was definitely about that, in my opinion, could have been on pay-per-view, but the ending was ruined by interference by Starks and Big Bill. The rest of the competitors from the Fatal 4-Way tag match came out to turn this into a huge brawl, ended in a no contest. And honestly, I didn't really serve much purpose to me other than to hype up that match a little bit. But I don't think anything could have hyped up that match. I mean,
I think that match that you just, the Roosh and Dax, it got me hyped. I ain't going to be honest. When I saw this match, I really was hyped for the ladder match. Okay. I thought they both put a good show.
Good effort, I guess. I just wanted to see a whole match get finished, but I guess
they had a lot of time.
They did. Wheeler Yuta, Buddy Matthew are going to have a match. I love Buddy Matthew, and he deserves to get this win. He ended up getting the pin, but he wasn't done yet. He went on to get a chair to continue his attack when Claudio showed up to make the save. He grabbed the mic and challenged Matthews to a match at Full Gear to probably get some revenge for the beating he just put down on Wheeler Yuta. Moving on to this tag team match, Saraya, Ruby Soho taking on Sheeta and Chris Statlander. Of course, Sheeta and Chris Statlander would come through with a victory, defeating Ruby Soho and Saraya. Statlander suplexing Soho and Saraya at the same time was a nice display of power, but whatever.
I saw a lot of bad things, Savage. I saw that Saraya is surely being forgotten. Sheeta is not doing it for me. Statlander has no personality. He shows in the ring.
I'd say the same thing after what I saw tonight on Dynamite, which we'll get into later. But yeah, what you said about Saraya is spot on. I mean, same thing for Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho had her breakout moment, a while back in that, I think it was a no DQ match, which the bloodbath. Remember the bloodbath?
Honestly, Savage, yes, I do.
Everybody was talking about that, man. They had an opportunity there.
I personally feel her momentum was over when she lost in the finals, right? Was it the finals of that Bret Hart tournament?
I thought her momentum was over the second they didn't capitalize off that bloodbath and go hard with her being a hardcore icon.
I think she should have won the tournament, and I think after that, she just started to go downhill.
Somebody changed their mind on her. We have Rampage then going on after the collision. The Rampage portion of the show opened up with Chris Jericho making his entrance to join the commentary table before the Beretta and Cage came out for the TNT title bout. We have Christian Cage versus Trent Beretta, and Christian Cage is definitely not going to lose this match because he's got all the right help. Cage kicked out of Storm Zero, the same move Beretta used to win this opportunity earlier in the show. When he regained his composure, he began to focus on Beretta's neck before hitting a kill switch for the win. Tony Storm taking on Emi Sakura, and Tony Storm doing Tony Storm things. This was fine for what it was, but it wasn't exactly Storm's most competitive match. It was more about her character work, which is fine, but the in-ring work took a bit of a hit as a result because
so the hottest act in AEW is on Rampage.
Yeah. Jesus. Roderick Strong back in action versus Action Andretti, and this definitely made me happy just to see him in the ring again. There was a scary moment.
Yes, I did hear.
There was a scary moment when Strong landed right on his neck following a Spanish fly. Roddy ended up managing to get the win, but it's still a scary moment. MJF beating the hell out of the Gun Club. Jay White was giving an interview to close the show when MJF then attacked him out of nowhere in an attempt to get back to Triple B. They ended up in the ring where MJF ended up getting beaten down by the Guns and Switchblade. And, it is what it is. Get his butt kicked, and look who makes the save. Samoa Joe made the save, but he was unable to help MJF reclaim the title. It looks like, MJF over here is basically going to get stuck making a deal with Samoa Joe, and that's how he ends up getting a title shot opportunity because they ended up being tag team partners at Full Gear, which we're going to get into right now. Now, you definitely watched Full Gear. Eddie Kingston.
I want all the AEW hardcore fans that are watching us, please, because you do not want to hear my take on this paper. So just come in. I'm gonna be as raw as I can about each match.
All right, I'll go through the matches, and then if you have something to say for that match, just take over. If you have nothing to say, I'm gonna just keep it
going. It's every match. But go ahead.
Right.
I didn't see 0 hours, so I'll leave you at that.
All right, so Eddie Kingston did go on to defeat Jay Lethal. Buddy Matthews took a loss to Claudio. Claudio booked strong. MJF and Samoa Joe were able to beat the Guns, and now they have their championship gold still. And Samoa Joe has now an opportunity to win the title from Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Very good shit here. Very good shit. It's going to be a good story.
Sorry.
I'm saying good shit because I'm a fan of Joe. He deserves a tag team a world championship title. And the reason I say this
never
is
got it before.
But this time it's a little more better done. I appreciated the way he left his Ring of Honor title in the ring, making a statement saying, you know what? I'm sick of this mid-card shit. I'm sick of being in Ring of Honor. I am Samoa Joe, and I deserve the world championship. As far as character work, that was the best Joe's ever looked in AEW. Not wrestling work, character work. That was a bold statement. And if he goes through with it, I'm not saying he is, but if he did end up now beating MJF now, right, based off that character turn, it will be one of the more significant pushes we've seen from a wrestler in AEW. I don't know if that's going to happen. In this match, MJF was injured. And then they said he might not be able to compete. Well, they say he was injured at least. I don't know if he was. He might be injured, supposedly. So
he is legitimately injured, by the way.
Well, he may be legitimately injured, but at that point, at that moment in time, when you're watching the pay-per-view, you don't know if he's really injured, if it's a work, whatever. At the end of the day, they don't know if he's going to compete in the championship match. Now we open off AEW Full Gear. And Jay, I'm sure you have a take on this match where Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne took a loss to Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, and Sting. And
I don't like the match, but I'll tell you this. I think Sting should do exactly what Sting did. Absolutely nothing. That's exactly what you need to do for Sting. Get him a few hits, bang, bang, get out the ring. I think Chris Jericho needs to take notes that I think we spoke about months ago how Jericho and Sting, we wanted to see it one-on-one, but they touched earlier than expected. This time, we don't really see Cage and Copeland touch, and I think that was a great positive thing out of it, and I like that they're doing that. And, you know, it just wasn't for me, Savage. It didn't do it for me. No matter how good Copeland was, I wasn't into it.
No, this match was, in my opinion, this match was all about Copeland. He's the one that had the most time, the most work, the fact that he's trying to get his hands on Christian Cage. Now, they want to build that up through this match, which they did. Darby Allin is a maniac for taking that choke slam. I don't think anybody could take it as good as he did. And I think he's taken some time off, is what I've heard. And I hope that move doesn't have anything to do with it, but it might, because it looked brutal.
It sure did.
And now here's Jay White. Basically about to become, you know, I guess the winner of the AEW championship match.
This is why I don't think I would enjoy MJF and Samoa Joe, because they just built this injury to have Mr. Glass on the screen right now coming out and just wasting my freaking time. And I don't even know who that person is anymore. I'm sorry. You call him, what do you call him? What's his name? The one in the crutches?
Mr. Bebe?
You call him Mr. Bebe, whatever. I call him Mr. Glass because he's just that fragile. And he looked fragile. And it was a waste of our time. And it was a waste of a complete story. It made me hate the whole pay-per-view in general because of this build. Go ahead.
Okay, so you hated the whole thing. I wasn't a fan of this either.
This was a waste of time.
I wasn't a fan of this either because to me, it's like you're giving it away. All right, there's no way Adam Cole is going to compete in this match. Even if he does,
exactly.
It's an automatic loss. Guy can't even walk.
How we doing?
It's like giving it away. I'd rather just like build it up. MJF, Jay White, end of the night, yada yada. There's no reason.
What was the point of all this?
I really don't know. I don't know who's writing this shit anymore.
Stupidity.
Now this wasn't shocking because it proves how much they love Orange Cassidy. They're putting him over on Jon Moxley, who, by the way, kicking out of everything, right?
Yeah, he only wants to sell whoever he likes to work with. That's what it seems like.
He still laid down for Orange Cassidy. Did that shock you?
No, I'm not shocked. It was the right call. I think he should have never lost in the first place because he was making it prestige. But this was the biggest win for Orange Cassidy because he won clean over Moxley. But I don't like the match because he's not selling. Like, come on, man. I came, if I was there, I came to watch a wrestling match, not a guy that's gonna take punches and kicks and suplexes and just gonna stand up. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You're in God mode now? Like,
He really was in God mode. I mean, he was kicking out of everything. I don't even remember how many times he got hit with the orange punch, all kinds of other crazy maneuvers. Just kicking out of everything, man.
6.
That's crazy.
Come on, really?
That's crazy.
6.
Well, is he the only one that really gets that kind of treatment, though?
But why is he getting that treatment? Why?
He's John Moxley. He was part of the Shield.
Come on, it's supposed to be a match. Like, we wanted to see a match, not
that Shield is doing its job, Jay, and it's protecting him. It seems that's a lifelong membership of that club.
I think he's a loser, but yeah.
I think it's more of success by association.
Hey, look, if you're in the year of the boss, I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want, so go for it.
We have a new world champion as Toni Storm went on to beat Sheeta. She's now a 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. And you know what? Good for her. She came in, changed her character, got over, and the change was made right away. I thought she deserves it. And I'm very curious to see where they're going to go with this. It's more entertaining than anything else she's ever done.
Yeah, Savage, I hated this match just for a particular reason. It had no story. I've been saying it for months. There was no story. There's no build. This proves my point that anybody that holds the AEW Women's Championship, there's just no story around it, period. Do you know, Savage, that Sheeta has won the belt twice and her reigns has lasted 25 days in the first, 39 days the second? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? To be honest, Savage, what I would have done, I would have had Sheeta go over Storm, keep Storm and build that popularity as much as I can, and then win it next year. That's what I would have done. A World's End. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, build it up a little bit, at least have it, make it meaningful, and at the same time, you make Sheeta look good too. Because she just won it. She didn't really get a run. I mean, I wouldn't call what she just had a run.
But the crowd wasn't into the match because there's no story.
There's definitely no story. We had the fatal 4-way match. Now that you said earlier that you were actually hyped for this match.
I was.
Did the match deliver with the result?
It did deliver. I truly think this could have been match of the night. But it was that good. I was entertained. I thought Dax did some impressive spots. I think it established Bill and Starks as not some comedy act that is not being taken seriously. They needed this win to be taken seriously. So it was the right call. I thought the match was entertaining. I was enjoying it.
For sure. Listen, I wanted FTR to win this match just because I'm being biased on that one. But Bill and Ricky are doing their thing right now. And if anything, I'm more happy for Big Bill getting the win over here, continuing his tag team title reign. Hopefully that's going to continue for Big Bill. For him, I wish all the success in the world. Ricky Starks, good for him too, I guess. Congratulations on holding the title yet again in another marquee match that actually had a lot of talent in it. I mean, when you look at this screen, the fact of the matter is House of Black has been dominating AEW television the last couple of weeks. Big Bill, Ricky Starks just got a win. That FTR was in, House of Black, two of the most over people in the company.
Even Roosh is over.
Oh, absolutely, Roosh is over, man. So it was crazy to see this shit. So congratulations to them on getting a big dub. Good moment for him. Triple threat match. I was actually very happy with the results of this. I feel like Julia Hart deserves this title. House of Black has been killing it, and at least she made up some redemption for the House of Black, who had failures at other points in the night. So I was happy to see this. Julia Hart is your new TBS champion. Statlander lost, and Julia Hart looks good doing it. What did you think about this match?
Well, everybody knows how I feel about Sky Blue. I'm not the biggest fan of Sky Blue, and I'm sure not the biggest fan of Chris Statlander. This woman has held the TBS championship for 6 months and absolutely did nothing with it. She didn't elevate anyone. She has no personality. She doesn't even show it through her facial expressions in the ring. I'm just sick of Chris Statlander. If she goes back to Best Friend Savage, I am truly done with Chris Statlander. Let me put it to you like that. Julia Hart came a long way. I've been telling you she's been improving. She deserves the TBS championship. I'm glad she won it. But as for Sky Blue being in it and doing these little botches and trying to do her cold blue, I'm just not a fan of it. I still see her turning heel at some point, but this match didn't do it for me, just the end.
The match didn't really do much for me, but the result did. Like I said, I popped for Julia Hart winning because she's put in the work. She's very good. She has the look. She plays the character well. She's definitely been wrestling her ass off. So the result got me to pop, if anything. The match didn't, but the result did. And here we have this, and I want to get into this because everybody was talking about this all week long,
maybe all month long.
To me, Jay, is this a surprise? Is
It's
this a big announcement?
I think it was a waste of time. I think he tried to throw a curveball and have people really think Ronda was signing, but I knew Ronda wasn't going to sign. I knew it was this guy. I think he made the biggest mistake of his career to work in a clown show. But hey, if you want to work in a clown show part-time, do these days and get paid millions of dollars, knock yourself out in February 2024. I don't really give a damn. This guy,
that's what
it's rough. I don't care if people think he's the best wrestler or they're number one. He's not number one to me. He's rough on the mic. I couldn't even understand a damn word he was saying, only New Japan. That's the only thing I understood. So people may like this. Wasn't a surprise. This was spilled for like a month. So I think it was just a waste of our time.
Yeah, I don't know how to really feel about it, other than the fact that it's not a big surprise.
Did you think he did the right call? Do you think he should have signed to AEW instead of over WWE?
Well, let me give you my take. Bottom line is they didn't advertise it as a surprise, but they advertised it as an announcement that we didn't know about. So to me, that automatically makes it like a surprise because we don't know. So just because they didn't use the words surprise doesn't mean it didn't have the hint of a surprise. Now, I was not surprised because two things. I've seen Will Ospreay wrestle on AEW in many different matches over the last year. So to me, it's not like anything big. He's been wrestling there. He's going to continue wrestling there. All he's done now is made it official that he won't wrestle anywhere else except for AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling and maybe some other independents. But he guaranteed he will never be wrestling for the WWE because I think he signed a 9-year contract or some ridiculous shit. He's getting paid. The only thing I can say is it the right move? You know what? I'm not Will Ospreay, Jay. I'm not Will Ospreay. I don't know what Will Ospreay is about.
You don't have to be Will Ospreay.
I'm trying.
Yes or no?
I'm trying to answer the question for you. There is no yes or no because I'm not Will Ospreay. I don't know how he feels about it. I don't know how he feels about it.
I don't like this guy.
He likes living in Japan. He likes living in Japan, working in Japan. He likes having freedom. And WWE, you certainly don't have that freedom. You are committed. You have to work 300 days a year. And if anybody knows better about working for the WWE/F, it's this guy right here, Marty Jannetty, because no one's been fired and hired more in the history.
He came to save us from what you're saying.
It says Ms. Savage there. I need Jay Savage. Where you at, Jay?
Hey,
Marty's been talking about you all day.
Yeah, you're my favorite now.
He came to save the day from the nonsense you're just saying to everybody right now.
Let's ask Marty. Marty, you know who this guy is?
That's Orange Cassidy and Rick Ross.
You see? It's Orange Cassidy. Nobody cares about Will Ospreay.
I do. I love Will Ospreay.
Hey, Chris, I don't care about Sky Blue. I'm sorry.
Somebody told me he went to the barbershop and they quit right in the middle of his haircut.
Yeah, they stopped. They dropped the ball. More probably Tony Schiavone. I think he hasn't even been to.
That's who I mean, Tony Schiavone.
Look at Tony, man.
I like Tony, man. We never had much interaction, but he used to tell me there was a guy on the horizon coming. He's going to have a sidekick named Jay, and I couldn't figure it out until now. He was talking about you years ago.
Shit, man. Jay's just mad that Will Ospreay didn't sign with the WWF. He signed a 9-year contract.
No, I wouldn't care either. I just think he made the wrong call. That's all. Okay. I wouldn't even care either.
Well, you're supposed to be an agent. You're supposed to help him with that.
I'm not his agent. Not yet.
I'm the critic. I'm not the agent. I'm just the critic.
Jay, where's your glasses, bro?
Yeah, where's your shades, Jay? You're killing the vibe right now.
You
want to borrow mine?
Let's see my lovely eye.
We're gonna have to send Jay some shades. Let's get into this match, Jay. What did you think of this match?
Oh man, I don't really say this a lot, but this was probably the most outstanding match that I've seen.
Is that Swerve?
I can't give it a perfect score though, Marty, if I would have graded it, just for the fact that Brian Cage came out to interfere. I thought that was really dumb. But if he wasn't in it, this would be top-notch 5, 6 stars, whatever you want to call it. I think this match of the year for AEW. And Savage. Hangnail Adam Page had a first Texas death match against Lance Archer when he was champion, and it was nothing like this. This is how you do a Texas death match. Wouldn't you agree, Marty?
I've never been in a death match in Texas.
It's just full of blood and weapons, and everybody just knocking themselves out till they can't get up. That's what it is, and that's what we saw.
You know how I would win that match immediately by singing Merle. I wrote a song today, Jay. It only took like 5 minutes. Merle.
I told that
we need to get a beat with it.
Could be the worst and best song of all time. Swerve Strickland has a lot of songs, and this was the best match of his career. Probably the best match of Hangman's career. This was an iconic match. This will go down as one of the most historical AEW matches. And congratulations to both guys. They pissed off.
That good, huh?
They pissed off a lot of people. I mean, Hangman Adam Page, Marty, he was drinking this man's blood. He literally drank.
He was doing the gangrel.
I mean, it was a little over the top for the casual fan that a lot of people were crying about. Like, what is this shit?
Because there's kids in the freaking arena, but
well, they don't really go after the kids.
AEW has kids. What I say, AEW,
yeah, they got kids.
Yeah, they got some.
Me and Savage been there many times. AEW. You know what the crowd is.
I went to ECW days where there were no kids and no women.
No kid. Yeah, it's this big sausage fest. I remember those at the Elks Lodge.
Why you always go into the sausage?
Because that's what it was. Damn it. All right, how about this? You know this guy, your best friend Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega taking on the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And guess what? They won.
Who did? The Bucks?
Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
Don't he own part of the company?
I don't know if he owns part of the company. He probably owns part of Tony Khan's ass.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, I detected a piece of jealousy there.
Not really.
I mean,
he's just.
Tony
Khan is a mark for Chris Jericho. He loves Chris Jericho the way that I love.
I see him calling right now. That's Tony Khan calling.
Pick it up.
Nah, we'll get in trouble.
We'll definitely get in trouble. We're gonna get fired over here.
Let me see what he texts though.
But Chris Jericho ended up getting the win. I wasn't really impressed with this match, Jay. I thought Chris Jericho. Luckily for him, he's wrestling with Kenny Omega, who makes up for all of it.
Well, even though he's a legend, Savage, he just moves slow, works slow, and you know what? Yeah, and you know what, Marty? The problem with this match was it happened after an outstanding match. It just takes.
I had to follow. Okay,
the crowd's not into it, and I wasn't into it either.
Hold on, Marty. I'm
fixing
the screen right now.
Go to the kitchen and get a big shot of something.
I'm going to put Marty in the corner because hey, I got Marty Jannetty in the corner of my stream right over here.
Yeah, with the old man's glasses.
Next to the Happy Thanksgiving. By the way, Happy Thanksgiving, Marty.
Happy Thanksgiving to both of y'all, the families. Jericho, he looks like he's having one now.
Yeah.
Is that a girl referee or no?
Yes, that is Aubrey Edwards, and she yelled at me once, Marty.
What did you do to her?
Well, I was in Tramporetta's face with a giant David LaGreca head, screaming at him, asking him if he listens to Busted Open.
Yeah, I remember that.
You had something to do with it, Jay.
No, I was just there laughing.
I've done some crazy shit. Jay's seen me do some crazy shit over the years as far as wrestling related
goes.
I
haven't even been there years. It's been a couple of months.
I don't remember. Jay, did you ever see me tackle that security guard? Were you there at that one?
No, not that one.
You heard about that one, though.
I heard about it.
I did. I heard about it, too.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, let's move on to the main event. It's going to be Adam Cole versus Jay White. Not because
Adam Cole's still there.
But he's hurt. He can't even. He can't wrestle.
I know that feeling right there with them fucking crutches.
Yeah. Adam Cole is in the same boat with you. He's got he just had ankle surgery, right, Jay?
Oh, real?
Yeah, he finally got the boot now. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
more like a month or so.
He's still
Oh,
hopping
so
around.
he's able to walk.
He's still hopping.
He's still hopping around on one leg. He's actually a tag team champion for Ring of Honor as well.
He's got a man bun on his head. You know what that means? He'll whoop that ass any chance he gets.
Yeah, try. Jay White, MJF now are going to have that match. They're going to go one-on-one. MJF on one.
What is that? That's what are they doing off the top rope?
That's a Uranagi.
Son of a bitch.
Look at this. That's a bump, man. That's a bump.
Even the ring is going, no, man, please.
Look at this shit. MJF actually jumped over the top rope and hit this guy with a diamond cutter, jumping off the top rope from inside the ring.
Fucking amazing the shit they can do now. The athleticism of the guys, the strength. I mean, that's just crazy.
Hey, that's called evolution, man. Years and years of people watching guys like you doing it and just, evolving.
Yeah, think of this. The guys doing this right now, doing that bulldog, reverse bulldog off the top rope.
All that shit.
The guys watching today, the kids watching today have got to up that. So they're going to be doing it even better. And it's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
I'll be right back. I had to run and get something.
All right, brother.
We got you. But MJF over here absolutely killing it.
Y'all want something to eat? Are you hungry? You okay?
No, I'm good.
Waiting for tomorrow.
You good, Jay? Okay. All right.
Go get yourself a snack, and if you want, tell everybody on Facebook that you're on Wrestling with Savage. We could probably get a few hundred people in here. It's crazy that he doesn't have like 300,000 followers yet, Jay.
It's coming.
He will.
It's
coming. Oh, it's going to happen. We did the episode tonight, which I'll get into in a little bit, but I just want to touch on MJF. MJF he really is a generational talent. Okay. I love this performance. This was the second best match of the night. There's no way they're going to follow Swerve and Hangman. That match was just too intense, too out of control. Reminded me of Mick Foley, Randy Orton, ECW all in one shot. They did a great job. What did you think about the main event?
First of all, I think this was one of the worst main events I have ever seen in AEW. I have said it forever that MJF championship run has been lackluster, and I'm not going to take it back. First of all, you do an injury angle on 0 hour, as you mentioned that he worked on the left knee. Then all of a sudden, you're doing Michinoku drivers from the top rope. You're doing cutters from the outside, and you're using kangaroo kicks on your bad left knee, and you're not selling. I think it was just too much when he was getting hit, and he was overselling as well. I wasn't buying into this match because of another reason, Jay White. Not only have I said he's rough on the mic, he just doesn't do it for me in the ring. And everybody that was watching it when he was taking offensive moves, nobody was into him either. And we'll talk about later tonight in this match as well, because it proves my point. Overall, I think Jay White is not the right challenger. I don't see Samoa Joe as a threat. You may want to call it. You may want to say earlier he's the most intense guy. He's this and that. Overall, he is no way in blue hell going to beat MJF. I think it's just going to be another crappy match that I'm not going to give a damn, just like the first match. But I have all my cards and all my money, even my turkey tomorrow, I am going to put. And by the way, Mr. Glass killed it for me because he just came out throughout the whole pay-per-view. And he came out here. Killed it for me. But I do feel Mr. Glass will be the one to dethrone MJF and turn heel. I'm waiting for it, but it looks like it's going to be a long time.
I'll say this. Swerve Strickland stole the show on Saturday night.
Absolutely.
Beyond over, especially tonight with Dynamite, which we're going to get into in a moment. He opened up the show tonight, and he showed everybody exactly whose house it is. And if you give him another year or two, he's going to show everybody whose planet it is. Whose planet? Swerve's planet. It's coming.
Can this tournament that they're doing be set up just for Swerve? I feel like that's the vibe I kind of get.
100%. We're going to get into that later tonight. You are watching the AEW Weekly Update. Every Wednesday night we do it. On Tuesdays we do the WWE Weekly Update. And right now we're going to give you some, I like to call it. Breaking news. The Elite have signed contract extensions with All Elite Wrestling, so congratulations to them. Will Ospreay is definitely All Elite. He will not be going to the WWE. Swerve Strickland's finisher floors a stunt double during a training session, which is crazy because it shows you his finisher is serious business. Jim Cornette believes the bloody Adam Page stunt may have cost AEW a network deal, which is crazy to hear about. Adam Copeland rejects traitor accusations after choosing AEW over WWE. I agree with that. He's not a traitor. He's just trying to have fun and do his thing and have a fun time retiring with his friend Christian Cage. AEW Rampage viewership for November 17th episode stays under 300,000 yet again, like we noted earlier. And the Young Bucks quit being the Elite Series. So who knows if they're going to start a new series or what that really means. Also, Dolph Ziggler was spotted amongst numerous AEW stars, making everybody lose their minds as, I think he is all.
I'm not losing my mind. So.
Happy about this. Sammy Guevara is gearing up for in-ring return, highly anticipated here, with Marty Jannetty back in the corner over there. In your corner, Marty Jannetty.
Hey, who was that? Can you back it up? Who was that? Skinner?
Skinner?
The older right there in the far.
That's Dean Malenko.
Holy shit! Look at him. He got older.
Yes, he did. Let's make that big one so you can see him good.
He's a good brother right there.
One of the best too in the business to teach people. Really good.
Oh God, I had a match with him, just one match ever, and it was so easy, so good. I was learning shit while I was working for him. I think don't they have like a family generation of teaching, like school and all that?
Oh yeah, that guy's deep in it.
And when you fought him, Marty, in what was it, WCW?
Yeah, that's where I had him. Yeah. And
Under,
it was
right?
a good solid match. Yep. Yeah, you remember?
I remember.
Hey, I got something to see who can get it first, who this is, and which one do you pick for number one?
Sable and who?
I'm gonna go with Tori.
I'm going with Sable. I'm going with Tori. Going with Sable.
I'm trying to get that damn glare off of it.
The number one of all time diva-wise is Stacy Keibler, okay? Let's be honest.
You like the legs. Yeah, she has some legs.
Stacy Keibler, the greatest diva of all time.
Hey, Miserable. You know, like when you came here to decorate the studio,
yeah,
you got a hold of this. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because the back half of it is missing. I mean, I don't want to see them.
I'm not trying to get banned off YouTube with your craziness right now. And
but
we're gonna get inside news tomorrow. Marty Jannetty loses his mind on Wrestling with Savage.
But I don't want to see them naked because I know them. You know, they're friends.
That's
Tori,
not true.
Tori, remember when Tori was dating Silverman? Was it Kidman or Silverman?
Billy Kidman, I think. Billy Kidman. Yeah.
And they lived right behind me and my girl Bonnie. We lived like 2 blocks over from them. Wow. And they wanted to. She did. Tori he was on the road. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say something I don't know, but I mean, it sounded like it could have been a lot of fun because we got invited to come over. Mainly Bonnie, the girl I was seeing at that moment. Tori invited her, like, when they're on the road, just come over. It was kind of nice. It was a nice thing. And then, I don't know. It was a lot of kind of, I'll just stay away from that. But yeah, they live behind us.
Yeah. This is where this is.
Look at, I lost my Dallas Cowboy hat right there. You saw that?
I did see that. I got that on this show too. All right. What else we got? Jade Cargill hones her skills with AEW.
That's that girl right there.
She was training with Ricky Starks, my best friend Ricky Starks. She was training with him.
Well, that's not. Which one just went to WWE?
Jade Cargill.
That's her.
Let's pull that on the big screen.
You think she's going like do good?
I hope so, but it all depends on how good she can wrestle. Because WWE, like you always say, is the big boys, where the big boys play.
Yeah.
So can she keep up? Can she keep up with Charlotte Flair? Can she keep up with Becky Lynch? Can she keep up?
Well, how long she been around?
She's only been wrestling like 2.5, 3 years tops.
3.
Oh, that's not bad, yeah. But then 2-3 years now is way different than.
Let me ask you: do you agree with Ken Anderson? Ken Anderson came on my show once, and he told us that it takes 7 years for a wrestler to truly reach their prime. Do you agree with that statement?
It's individuals accordingly. I mean, that might be a good average. Average it out. But I mean, everybody learns at a different rate. Number one, number two. you're going to learn at the rate that you're practicing. I mean, if you have one match a week as compared to somebody's having 5 matches a week, who you think's going to get better quicker? So there's a lot of variables involved. It's not just here's it is. So it takes 7 years. When I got in, they told you shut your mouth, don't say a thing for 2 years. Don't talk, just listen.
Just shut up. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was 2 years. So, I mean, 7 might be right now because they don't work as much as we used to.
No wonder I'm having so many problems because I've been doing this less than 2 years and I never shut my damn mouth.
That is a problem. And
Doesn't let me talk either.
hey, Jay, you know what your boy did, man? We was in, I don't know, but somewhere in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, or wherever it was.
Chicago, you're talking about.
No, it was Jimmy Hart was with us.
Yeah, that's Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia and Chicago.
Happened in Philadelphia.
2 different places. Well, there was this dude. We'd done our work for the day. We just get checking in the hotel. And Mizzy liked cigars, I guess. And this guy's older man was going through, I guess he was selling cigars or whatever. Mizzy was like, oh man, God, I love that. And the guy just, like, here, yeah, check this out, check that out.
All right, now Marty's fabricating because I can tell you what actually happened. You want to know what actually happened?
Let me tell it, then you fix it. All right, I'll just tell you what I saw. Because I did miss the beginning. I looked up and you got a bunch of cigars. And the guy had like one left, and it was like a Cuban or something, like a special one. And so Savage goes, "Oh my God, you got that? Oh my God!" He goes, "Yes, my last one. I want, he goes, "Let me have." He goes, "I'd like to keep this my last one." He goes, "Oh man, you can't tease me like that. Oh, you got to let me have. Oh, that's it." And it was an older man. He finally just gave in. He goes, "Okay, here you go." And Savage takes it, which I was like, don't do that to the man. But he takes it, and then he turns on me. As soon as he gets it in his hand, he turns to me and Jimmy Hart, and somebody, your nephew, the rapper, was with us.
Yes, sir.
And he turned and said, "See how I just hustled him? See how I got this? I just hustled." I was like, oh, my God, right in front of him. You did it right in front of him. That's what I saw. What did you do?
What I remember is this man was trying to skip us in line at the hotel so he could check into his room before us. Yeah, the guy tried to skip 4 other guys in line.
There wasn't no 4 other people there except the ones.
It was us 4. It was me, you, Jimmy Hart, and my cousin Cri Text.
How's he doing?
He's doing good, man. His new album just came out. So
big shout out to man. I like him, bro. It's pretty good.
That guy tried to screw us, and then he made up for it by giving me a free cigar.
If I would have seen all that, I would have agreed with you, but I didn't see that part.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, this Sunday, let me get through the upcoming events because I want to get into Dynamite, and then Jay, you can just ask Marty a couple of questions, but to close us out, whatever you want to ask him. So, and for the next 10 minutes, think of some good questions to ask Marty because
I'll think of some too.
You got a legend here. This Sunday, No Man's Land will be at the Battlefield Alpha Juniors School. I'll be there doing the interviews. Awesome. If you want to support Alpha, you want to support Savage, make sure you sign up to the Premier Streaming Network. It's only $9.99 a month, and you can watch No Man's Land this Sunday live, 5 p.m. from Premier Streaming Network. Savage will be there doing the interviews with all the stars, including Casey Navarro, Snitsky, my boy Spencer Slade. Tonight, we recorded episode 8 of the Party podcast. It was a smashing success.
I thought so.
Big shout out to Marty Jannetty for killing it and telling a story. And
I didn't say it like that, but she was excellent, man. Nia.
Oh yes, yeah. There's going to be good content tomorrow night. Where you got a treat on Thanksgiving. You can watch Party with Marty episode 8 tomorrow night on the Party with Marty podcast. Subscribe today. I will be at Icons of Wrestling December 16th. I will be there dressed as Santa Claus. And then we have Black Dahlia, we have Nikki Duke, we have Ultraviolet, we have Zia Brookside here. I'm going to be, when I get there at Pennsylvania, okay, I'm setting up Santa's workshop. There's going to be snow, Christmas trees, lights,
what kind of snow?
Milk, fake snow, but it doesn't matter.
That ain't what I was talking about.
There's going to be cookies, there's going to be milk, and there's going to be some of the hottest talent in the ring today. And who doesn't want a little of this and some milk and cookies? Come down,
Stop,
get a
you're being
group.
Sexist. Stop.
Get yourself the group combo now while you're there. This
$80, right? You get like is it one
$80. You get all of them. Individual autographs, individual photos, group photos. You get Santa Claus. You get the picture with Santa's workshop for the kids. Bring your kids; they can meet Santa. Savage Santa is a good Santa. You're gonna want to meet him, spend some time with him. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees and look up Wrestling with Savage. Look up Wrestling Universe and look up the Party with Marty. All our shirts are there. Show your support today. Do it now. Wrestling Universe has some of the biggest stars signing all year long, over 400 signings a year. I'm not going to say all the names. I'm just going to show them to you. There's a lot of
Elijah Burks, man. I like him.
He's a good dude, man. A lot of people, a lot of legends, a lot of hot talent. December 29th, Swerve Strickland will be there. I expect this signing to be the biggest success in the history of Savage Kingdom Promotions to date. I think we're actually going to make some money. So now instead of having to pay for a suit with my pay, I don't care. We've been busting our ass all year long to get to the point where we can work with a guy like Swerve Strickland, who's doing it right now, he's doing
good, man. He was on TMZ.
Exactly. This is going to be huge. I can't wait. You can come hang out with Swerve.
And
by the way,
what is it? Is he a good worker, a good talker?
Everything. He's from WWE too, by the way.
Really? Okay.
He started in WWE.
Okay.
They didn't know what they had with him. They let him go.
They didn't know what they had with K-Quick when he was K-Quick, remember?
They didn't know what they had with a lot of people, but mistakes do happen. By the way, Marty, I'm taking this guy to Don Pepe's after the signing, by the way.
Oh, he's going to love it.
Yes, he will love it.
I don't know, the brothers don't like spaghetti, though.
That's all right. I'll eat the spaghetti. Matt Riddle, do you have any experience with Matt Riddle?
Not at all. He seems like a cool guy, though.
Yeah, he'll be there. I'll be bringing him a bunch of little goodies, let's say, that he'll love. Alberto Del Rio, you have any experience with him?
No, I was just seeing him with Rodriguez there, at a few signings around the world. We were in Germany. I was doing a seminar over in Germany, and Ricardo just felt it was kind of cool. One thing I thought, well, God, he's going to embarrass me because he's probably going to teach him better than I'm the one getting paid. He was just there waiting, for we were riding to the next Hamburg from wherever the hell we were, Germany. But he didn't mind, man. And that's like Al Snow and not so much Sean, but Al Snow was like that. 1, 2, 3 kids, everybody I tagged with. Bob Holly wanted to be like that, but he didn't know. He would start off talking about wrestling. And by the time he was trying to tell them how to do a comeback, he was talking about running cars off the road from racing, because he used to be a race car driver. It was just,
so he was a maniac.
I loved him. I still do. But boy, gosh, wow. George Steele, God rest his soul, used to say, how do you deal with that crazy guy? He's absolutely stupid. That's my George, man. That's my partner and he's my friend. Doesn't matter. He's a dumbass. God damn, George.
Yeah, we all got friends like that. February 10th is going to be ECW Day. You can come meet Spike Dudley, Danny Doran.
Oh, are we still on TV?
Justin.
Oh, shit. I just got in trouble.
Elijah Burke. Nobody watches this shit yet, so don't worry. Chad Chetty. We got
George. Just Incredible has gained a lot of weight.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Shane Douglas still looks good.
Yeah.
Raven looks great.
He is. I love Shane to death. We tagged. He filled in for Shawn during the.
You love him because he probably talks hella shit about Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he does, and the click. But the thing with Shane, super good guy, man. I can't find the click. Couldn't stand him. I don't know why. Because he was a good guy.
They didn't let him. Shawn refused to put him over with that title match.
It started with Scott Hall, though, for some reason. Scott Hall got an ass at him and went and told Vince he don't want to work right in the ring or whatever. I don't know all that. I just know Scott.
Something was definitely said. Because
Scott came over and told me, he goes, Marty, this guy, fuck him, man. I'm like, no, he's a good guy. I mean, I know he can work. I mean, what? It had to do with the click. Didn't want anybody overstepping something like that. But so
they didn't want to get outshined.
Maybe that, but it wasn't the same about Shane. Shane's such a good brother.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a sharp dude, man. I think he was running from mayor, his little town he lived in around.
He'll probably win too, man. But you can meet.
Well, this is years ago, yeah. But here's the thing that CTE does this to all of us. I don't know his style but you never know. You never know when your head hit the floor too hard from a slam.
Yeah.
The thing is, your brain is like a egg.
It's mush.
The yolk, if you just shake it like that, that yolk hits the shell. Well, that's what our brain does with the skull. When we take a slam, boom, it hits the skull. And those repetitively cause problems. And I don't know, Shane's style was more old school, like, it wasn't no high flying kind of stuff. And but I watched him do an interview talking about me and Sean in our fight, that our fight was, mine and Sean's fight was in a hotel room in Denver. The only fight we got in, I don't even know if you'd call it a fight. Well, but in that Karen girl, she told a version that she saw. She wasn't even there. She's from St. Louis. She wasn't even fucking there. She told her version. Well, Shane Douglas is being interviewed, and they ask how it came up, and he goes, "Oh man, I couldn't believe it." This is Shane talking. "I couldn't believe it. Marty come in, he was pissed off and throwing shit around the dressing room, waiting for Sean to come in. And when Sean came in, he took Sean and slung him around. He had him on the floor right by me. He was kicking the shit out of him. And I was just sitting there going, wow, should I do anything?" And Marty was yelling at him the whole time. He was going through this, like he was actually like looking down, talking about Shane, like it was right here. Body language, he's looking up like he's recalling shit. That never happened. It never fucking happened. I was sitting there. Shane's not a maliciously bad guy, liar, or nothing like that. I just wondered, has he got CTE? Has he got brain damage? Because he reeled through that like he was recalling it. And he was looking down like
if you talk about the bumps he took in ECW, I mean, how can you argue that he doesn't have CTE?
The what happened?
If you look at his career and watch all the bumps he has taken in ECW,
that's what I was saying. Did he take some badass bumps?
Yeah, hell yeah. Some of the hardest. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
he went hard.
But what's sad to see is my boys that are, some of them, like Shane's about 5-7 years younger than me. They're losing their minds, memories. And it's sad to see, like, Shane going through that whole deal. And I know Shane, we're very close friends, good friends. But that just blew me away to see that. I'm like, man, none of that happened. Me and Sean never gotten anything in the dressing room. We had the one thing in Denver in a hotel room. That's it.
Well, listen, it's the same thing about perception. Look earlier, the story you told about me and the cigar guy. You just told the story that didn't happen, but
it did happen.
In your perception, it's the same thing. It's the same thing like Shane.
Ask Jimmy Hart, because Jimmy looked at me like he couldn't believe you did that right in front of him.
If anybody still has their shit together, it's Jimmy Hart. I mean,
he does, man. He's the oldest one of all.
80 years old and quicker than anybody in the group. He knows what's up, man.
So on top of it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight was Dynamite. Real quick, I'm going to try to bang out this Dynamite so we can get to some free questions between Jay and MJ. Jay, I'll let you kind of kick us off, man. We have the Continental Classic tournament rules, 20-minute time limit, 3 points for a win, basically like a round robin. So everybody in the tournament would face each other multiple times, which is kind of a cool concept. It's different, whatever. Swerve's going to have the opening match in the Gold League. Swerve Strickland versus
Jay Lethal. That's my boy, man.
Jay Lethal's awesome. Jay, what did you think about this matchup between Swerve and Jay Lethal?
It was a good match. I just feel bad for Jay Lethal. I know he's your boy, Marty, but they're treating him like an enhancement talent. They're making him do all these matches, and when you put him in a match like this, I can't take him serious.
Is he? Oh, real? Is he still bouncing around the ring like he used to, or is he slowing down?
No, he's just doing comedy acts. That's all he's doing.
Well, that's kind of where he started too.
When you put him in a serious tournament, you can't take him serious.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Hey, Mizzy, I got a PI. I'll be right back.
Copy that.
All right,
Jay, after Swerve, what did you think about this little Wheeler Yuta? Is he showing any improvements? Is he?
I'm still trying to figure out why.
Is he getting better on the mic? Do you think?
I'm still trying to figure out why people that can't talk are having mic time. I don't understand.
He gets a lot of mic time.
I do not understand it. I don't.
He gets a lot of mic time. He really does.
And is it good? Did this do it for you? No.
At least it's something. I mean, they're trying to build on the storyline, and I guess you need content like this to try to get there. But I don't really see the improvement yet, mostly because I'm just not believing what he's saying. I'm not believing. He's not saying it with enough conviction just yet. I also thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought this whole shenanigan was unnecessary.
There comes Unbreakable.
Adam Cole is injured. He should be home. Those titles should be stripped. He shouldn't even be, this guy should not be getting a title by not even defending it. It's just silly to me. It doesn't make sense. And it just shows you how biased he is. On a chair.
Oh, God. This is by far the worst, Savage. I'm telling you. I can't.
Jay.
Yes.
Jay, I really wasn't happy when they had this guy talk. The man in the mask had no business talking yet. And he didn't even talk. He just kind of laughed. Kind of creepy, I guess. Samoa Joe comes out. And let me tell you something. Samoa Joe owned MJF in the mic tonight.
You know what, Savage? I want to know, when do we start censoring a lot of crap? I mean, I couldn't even understand what the hell was going on.
I think MJF
was so much censored.
He said blow me. That's what MJF said. MJF told Samoa Joe to blow me. They bleeped it out, but I'll say this. MJF is always great on the microphone. A lot of stuff. But tonight, Samoa Joe was better on the microphone. Samoa Joe is a credible contender, and if he beats MJF, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't shock me. Matter of fact, like I said, the way he laid his title down and said, you know what? I'm done being a mid-carder. I'm done wrestling for Ring of Honor. I'm coming after that world championship. I believe him when he says that. Oh, God. I do.
I don't, but
I know Marty Jannetty knows who Samoa Joe is.
Of course, yeah.
What a good dude, right?
I don't know him that well, but a nice guy. Do what I do know of him. And he's in the family.
Just like Stephen Chambers said, the Flair drink's being promoted.
Oh, yeah, that Flair drink. I have pictures of that. We'll get into that a little later tonight. But Samoa Joe killed it tonight, but I thought this segment, it's not even necessary yet because the match isn't done. The match, I don't know why. I don't even know why he's there. He's injured.
Exactly.
What did you think about this match, Jay? Go ahead. It's all you.
It's a shit show. I mean, are you surprised that it's a shit show? I mean, what do you expect? First of all, before the match, you get Danhausen. What the F? Then you get the purple hat. What the F? Then you get the curse. What the F? Are we having a wrestling match or we're doing comedy? Like, what are we doing? I hated it. I hated everything about it. And by the way, Cook sucks, okay? This guy's dressed up like he's a boxer, but let's face it, he can't throw a punch and he can't do a clothesline. He did a clothesline and he tripped on himself and fell. I mean, I don't know.
All right, yeah, that was pretty bad, but whatever.
I don't know.
I didn't even care for this match. Danhausen's back. Marty, you met Danhausen for a couple of seconds. I know he is a fan of yours. What did Danhausen tell you?
Where did we see him?
In Chicago at StarCast. Did he try to put a curse on you, Marty? Because that's his gimmick. You see, here he's putting a curse on Jake Hager. That's
no, you know what? He was mad at you. If that's who I think it is, because he wasn't. I ain't saying weird, but he was different. But he was upset with you about something, and that was in Chicago, right, where we were downstairs in the way back.
Danhausen was upset with me, really?
For you?
It came out, yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh, I don't know. I got history.
That was the first time I ever met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe he
How
put
do you
a curse
get heat so fast?
He's lying, Marty.
Maybe he put. Well, Marty, that's what I keep telling all the promoters. I'm like, nobody in the world will get you more heat than me. I'll walk into any arena and piss everybody off in 10 seconds.
Yeah, but there's a good heat and there's a bad heat.
Well, I want the good and the bad. Let them throw the beer bottles. Let's go back to the 80s when Sergeant Slaughter and Iron Sheik.
That's fine if they hit you, but if they hit the guy you're working with, he didn't deserve that.
That is a chance you take when you sign up for this business. Let's be honest.
No, you don't sign up to get hit in the head with beer bottles.
Well, that's true.
Look at this.
Even though Manny Fernandez got stabbed.
I remember Kevin Nash, I think, got hit in the head with a beer bottle at MTV Spring Break. And he told him, if you don't get this shit under control, me and Scott are leaving. We're not staying here.
Who did he say that to? The crowd?
No, the people that work for MTV, the producers.
Oh, okay.
Said, you get this shit under control, we're leaving. We don't give a fuck. Exactly what you said. We didn't sign up to get hit with beer bottles and shit. We're out of here. Roderick Strong, basically Adam Cole shitted on him. Said, listen, when are you going to get it through your head, Strong? We're not best friends anymore. Stop being all up on my ass. Christian Cage killed it tonight. Okay, listen to this.
How did he do? He did good?
Christian Cage made Luchasaurus kneel down before him. He said, bow down to me. Shut up. You're a loser. You're a piece of shit. And from now on, you're known as Kill Switch because you're my finisher. And then Nick Young, guess what? You're my prodigy. You're my golden boy. You're my golden boy. Your father was a loser. Your father's dead.
Ooh, boy.
And now I'm your father. And there's Nick Young's mother. And he's telling all this to her.
In real life?
In real life, that's his mother, yes. And and Christian Cage is talking.
Man, I'm getting old.
Christian Cage is talking about their dead father, okay, who was a former wrestler as well. Crazy.
It's Buddy Wayne.
Yeah, Buddy Wayne. Yeah.
Oh, Buddy Wayne. Okay.
Getting absolutely dumped on. Christian Cage demands that Luchasaurus then hits the mother with a steel chair after he bumped into her when Christian shoved her. So Luchasaurus now is about to take the steel chair and hit the mother with a concerto. This is on AEW tonight, by the way. He's going to hit the mother of Nick Wayne.
Oh, so I got it recorded. It was on the TV show tonight. Okay.
And who makes the save? Edge. Adam Copeland gets in the ring, confronts everybody, spears Nick Wayne, spears Luchasaurus, gets him out of the ring. Christian Cage frozen in place, and for whatever reason, he spears Nick Wayne again, and then hits him with the concerto. So evil Adam Copeland.
What's the concerto?
The concerto is when you lay someone's face on a steel chair and then get another steel chair and bash their head into the other steel chair together like a sandwich.
So it's called a concerto?
Concerto, yes.
Okay.
What do you think about all this, Jay and Marty?
Adam Copeland looks weird right in here. Did he get an operation or broken cheeks?
No, it's just old.
He's just old
age.
I said, well, that's not nice.
He's old. What do you want?
I mean,
but right through here, it looks like he's drawn in.
No, this chat is going up tonight.
The
chat room, we got people watching right now, Marty.
They're saying the truth. Christian Cage killed it. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they. If you look at old pictures of Edge next to him now, it just looks like he has. Maybe did he break a cheekbone and they had to reconstruct? It just looks so weird compared to 20 years ago when him and Cage Christian was tagging. That's the team. That's the team I wish Sean and I could have wrestled.
I'm gonna say this now. I never have. When I was a kid and I was a fan, I hated Edge. I thought he was. I thought he had big, weird, buggy eyes, and I couldn't believe that a guy like this was beating up John Cena and Randy Orton. And
he was a rated R superstar.
Absolutely, he started dating Lita, and that's when I gained an immense amount of respect for the man.
Because he started fucking around with somebody else's girl.
But that was a gangster, man. Poor Matt. And that was a real shoot. That shit was real.
Yeah, it was.
Fantastic. I remember when he was trying to have sex with Lita on Monday Night Raw.
On TV.
I mean, do you get any better than that?
You know what was funny? Triple H and them made fun. I remember one episode or one of the shows, I guess that'd be an episode. They were laughing and saying, like, because he went out to the ring with his tight rated R shit and was doing something with Lita. And I guess it was supposed to have gotten hard down there. And they're like, it was just so small. It looked like an olive. Like trying to peek out.
So basically what we're doing now is we're calling out Adam Copeland for having a small piece.
Not me. I'm not.
Okay, no problem. Well, Jay, real quick, what did you think about that segment ending with Concerto?
I try to understand it, and I think Copeland shot himself in the foot when he did the concerto, just for the fact that the mother was watching, and I think she's going to be a big play, and I think she will be with Christian Cage and her son at one point.
So you think she's going to turn to the dark side and
after this? Just the way she looked at it and everything, I really think she will.
I like what Christian said at the end too. He said, if you would have played your cards differently, this all could have been differently. So basically, I think Christian tried to bang her, and it didn't happen. So, we had to hit her with a concerto.
I think it's a setup for her to turn heel. This was it.
Listen, Christian Cage is the biggest dick in wrestling right now, and he's killing it. I mean, that's his job description, is to go be the biggest dick in pro wrestling, and he's doing it, and I love it. This is useless. I don't care about this. I'm going to keep moving. We'll get into that later. This was actually a phenomenal match, but the problem is it's a chop fest, Marty. This is one of those goddamn wrestling matches where
Ric Flair.
these guys chopped each other 87 times. And
you know who you can't chop it with 80 times? Haku. He chops you once, you go down.
Yeah, I believe that. But I feel bad for Jay White on this one because Roosh is obviously much bigger than Jay White. And I mean,
what'd you call him, Roosh?
That's his name, Roosh. Yeah, not Rush.
Oh,
Roosh.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's one of the baddest in the world. Like very good professional wrestler, very good professional wrestler, good worker, phenomenal athlete, has the look, has the style, has the swag, and he was laying those chops in. I mean, you could hear the difference in the chops. It was thunderous, his chops. He was beating the shit. And then Jay White was trying to chop him so hard. And let me ask you this, Marty, in your experience, how many times have you seen people's wrist tape come off because of how many chops they gave?
No, probably never.
Look, that's what Taz said tonight. He said,
that's from sweat. When sweat, your tape loosens up and comes off.
Because Jay was trying to fight back with the chops, and I mean it was like 40 chops maybe in this fucking match.
Really?
Unfucking believable. It was a chop fest.
Hey Jay.
Yeah, sir.
You didn't have to do the sir, but that's okay. That's nice and respectful. Does it ever bother you when somebody steals your name? Like Jay Lethal's got your name?
Not at all. Not at all. I appreciate it. Makes me more famous.
Jay's not even his real name. We all have a real name.
Oh, okay. That's your working name.
Well, I do start with the letter J. That is a fact.
That's a fact, Jack.
We have what is this? The scrum, the media scrum, they call it. All right. Big Bill taking offense when Chris Jericho comes out and says, yeah, we're going to see you for those titles real soon. They end up finding Chris Jericho in the back. And
is that Chris there?
No, that's Ricky Starks and Big Bill, the current world tag team champions of AEW.
Oh, man, I'm falling behind. I don't even recognize
and they're beating up on poor Chris Jericho. Here's Tony Storm. I want to see what you think about this, Marty. Tony Storm, this is how they announce her. They announce Tony Storm like she just won an Oscar, basically. That's her like gimmick right now. She comes out as timeless Tony Storm, like a 1920s, Hollywood movie star.
She's looking Marilyn Monroe hairdo.
Dude, phenomenal. And she's the current AEW Women's World Champion. She's killing.
Oh, really? Well, she's a pretty good worker then, huh?
She's very good. Former WWE NXT UK champion. Shawn Michaels is very familiar with her.
Oh, real? Okay, why you say it like that?
Just, I don't know. Here's another girl that we're going to be working with soon, too.
That's Stephanie in drag.
No, that's Sky Blue and Ruby Soho and Anna Jay, who are about to have a triple threat match. And I thought this match was absolutely hard to watch because the storyline that they put with it was so damn bad. And how are you going to make Ruby Soho with Saraya, your girl Paige over there, how are you going to make them look bad? I mean, Paige was just the women's world champion.
That was Paige?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, when they repackage, they do repackage.
That is a repackage right there. She was just the women's world champion, Marty. They took it away from her immediately. They didn't even let her have a run with it. They had no storyline for her. This match was a shit show. It really was. I'm sorry. Sky Blue missed on the connect on this one completely.
Proves my point all along.
I don't like to shit on matches, but I have to shit on this one. And Sky Blue, I'm going to talk to you about this when I work with you next year. So, and I have the right because I'm going to be paying you. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you.
No, you can't do that.
What can I do?
You can't take it back. You can't look. I'm going to pay you so I get to abuse you.
If only life was that simple, that'd be great.
Yes, that's dog shit.
I swear that looks like Stephanie a little bit.
Look at your boy Ric Flair. I took this picture for you, Marty, so you could see.
What are you doing?
Look at him. Look at him. Woo! Energy.
I'm still not going to buy it.
Did you tell me he was selling weed?
Oh, he's selling everything. Weed, energy drinks.
We got to get the weed going.
Yeah, well, I got a guy for that, actually. We're setting that up. I got to just find out what we need to give them. But we'll get your strain coming. Your strain's coming.
Yeah, because all the athletes are doing that,
Yeah, why not?
Marty, on YouTube, when you get after the show on YouTube, just watch Shannon Sharp and Ric Flair. You had an interview with him yesterday.
Oh, for real? Let me write
Pretty amazing, man.
And Shannon, I love Shannon was one of my favorite, man. I like him.
Yeah. Amazing interview.
Is he gonna do it with a Kardashian or not?
Who, Flair?
No, Shannon Sharp.
She
put the word out that she would like to be with an older man, and she was like pretty much said him. And then he on cameras.
Which
like,
Kardashian?
Kim.
Kim?
Yeah, the one that was with the main one. I mean, the one that started the whole Kardashians by doing a porno.
Would never pay $25 for a 6-pack.
As you can see, Ric Flair energy drink. It's going for $24.99 for 6 cans. It'll probably give you cancer in 6 months.
That's horrible, brother.
Those energy drinks are really not good for you, Marty. Let's be honest. Monster and Red Bull.
Do you think vodka is?
Vodka is probably way healthier than any of those energy drinks. Okay, let's be honest. Here's your boy Wardlow. He's in the back. He's training. He gets interrupted. Wardlow.
A guy that's lost.
A guy that you don't know who he is. They don't know who he is. They don't know what they're doing with him.
But why do I know his name? Is it one of the old timers' sons?
Nah.
Oh, he's first generation.
Not that I know of. Jay, how about you? You usually are good with that shit. Is he first generation?
Wardlow, though. I mean, for some reason, it looks.
Yeah, he's the only one. That's it.
So he's first generation. He does have a good look, but they got to package him. They keep repackaging him. He gets interrupted. He gets interrupted. Wardlow hits this guy with a headbutt. Whatever. Now let's get into the main event. Jon Moxley taking on Mark Briscoe in another Continental Classic matchup and another chop fest. All right, but I'll give Mark Briscoe a lot of credit. He actually was doing a lot of offense that I haven't seen on TV in a while. But Jon Moxley with the chop fest, pile driver. Jon Moxley for once wasn't bleeding. Briscoe was the one bleeding. So that was fun to see. But these guys were both kicking out of each other's finishers. And in the end, Moxley hits that DDT. And there it is. That's actually a great shot of that DDT.
Yeah, that is. That looks good right there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he killed her. It looks like he killed Briscoe. He got the win with another DDT basically after.
Sonny fell in love with him, Moxley.
Why, in jail?
No, before she went in, she put the word out. She had to get with him. It's funny how girls can do. They just say, hey, I want to get with you, and it happens. Us guys can't do that. Hey, well, I want to get with you. Yeah. Well, motherfucker, I'll shoot your ass.
Yeah, Sonny's probably going to fall in love with a lot of people in jail now.
No, it's going to be, when I was in for a little while, I got to be a trustee and I worked the kitchen. So I used to get to go around to the girls' dorms too, to take the food, the trays to them. And when them girls are crazy in there, when I would go in, I'd go in with a CO, with an officer and wheel it in, all the trays. And the officer would have me take the tray and you put it at their little cell door. And the girls would, they'd go crazy because they see a guy. They'd have their tits up against the glass. The officer would like, you want me to make them stop? I'm like, you ain't trapping me up. I ain't saying nothing because some of them, yes. When they got zits on their titty, yes, make her stop.
Oh my God, we're gonna get banned. To answer this guy's question real quick, Stephen Chambers, I believe the whole thing, this like Jay mentioned earlier, this whole tournament was designed for Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland will go on to face Bryan Danielson and defeat him on December 30th, and that's just the way it is because there's nobody better at calling this shit out than Savage.
I agree with that 100%.
I see it. So now I want to do some intimate time. Jay and Marty. Jay, the floor is yours. Ask Marty what.
Ask Marty how to get his fucking hat on right. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Dino Bravo, you know him well, correct?
Yep, one of the favorites.
Now, rumor, I don't know. Please tell me. Okay. Is it true that Sean and Dino Bravo got into a fight up in jail?
No, not that I know of. I was actually there tonight in Louisville. What had happened was when you hear that, here comes some bullshit because you hear it in court in front of a judge every time. Well, no, judge, what had happened was. But so what had happened that night, it was Toy Tiger. I remember the name of the club and everything. Because it was a pretty good one in Louisville, Kentucky that we always
love in Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah. And we were out partying all night and I don't know what happened with Dino and Joey Morella, who he.
Marty. I think we lost Marty. Here.
Marty!
Marty, it was going to be a good story.
It was going to be a good story. Marty's laptop probably just died.
Well, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about the story.
What just happened, Jay? Did Marty Jannetty just become a co-host of this show?
Well, he was about to tell us what went down with Shawn Michaels and Dino Bravo, but we're still
if Marty Jannetty became a co-host of this show, do you know how many people would start watching this every week? If we got Marty Text,
they're watching it.
I
right
know,
now.
but like a long term. Imagine he did it for like a full year, and we have Marty Jannetty giving his take on AEW every week.
Happy Thanksgiving to Travis as well. Thank you, brother. But yeah, definitely. I see it, Savage. I agree with you. If Marty was here every single day,
could be wild. Could be
a wow show.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Tell the story. We're waiting to hear the story. You're in the club in Kentucky, and
all right, here's a bunch of shit, and we're having trouble. Okay,
it's all right, baby. We can hear you.
I see you, Savvy. Jay, your black screen.
Yeah. My shirt is black. I'm black.
What's coming? What's happening? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, and I see you.
We can't see you, but we hear you. Yeah.
My screen's black too.
That's my color.
We can do your audio only. You can finish that story.
Yeah, you can finish it.
Where was it?
You were
Dino and the night of the Toy Tiger. I don't know what happened to got on. It's not unusual whatsoever for us to go in a club and right. All the attention's being given to us. So the local, badass guys they're getting a little jealous and pissed off, and they at first meeting us and all, but once at the end of the night, all the girls are paying attention, or they're just not getting the same attention. They start taking it out on the guys, and a lot of times that didn't work out too good for them. But
Dino's a big guy too. He wasn't a little guy.
But Sean's a different. I love Sean to death. I'm not going to talk him down. But I mean, he had a bad habit back then. If he was with somebody like Dino or Scott Hall or Kevin Nash or anybody he felt he could hide behind, not worry about. Boy, his mouth got bigger. He became tougher. Even with me, I mean, when I was with him, he would do that, and I'm like, "Stop, man, stop! I can't take on 10 people because you want to." Say shit and get behind me. But that particular night, Dino, it was a hell of a night. Dino, I saw them getting arrested and put in the police cars and all that shit. It was Joey Morella. Remember him?
Yes.
Gorilla Son. And Dino Bravo and
Dino Bravo was
the Louisville police threw him in the car and put him took him down. And Sean's looking at him like, come get me out, which of course I was going to. We're going to get them all out. But I ended up waiting to hear from him. We didn't have cell phones yet. This is like 88 maybe. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Everything
went black. Can y'all hear me?
We all hear you.
It might be better. Everybody get myself in trouble.
I know. I hear you. We all hear you. But I don't know what happened to your camera, but
it's on and everything seems to be.
Marty, what's going on? We're going to get you to start watching AEW every week now and talking about it?
I don't know. Every week because I got a lot of times I got to be. I got to be in the hospital.
Marty, got another question. Is that okay?
What do y'all want to eat tonight? Spaghetti?
I'm not eating. I'm going to sleep. We got to eat so much food tomorrow. I know.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Your family's bringing you over a plate, I believe, right?
Yeah, like 30 different people. Like, don't eat. I'm like, no, bring it. Bring it.
You should eat until you go into a coma.
Well, I'm about to do that tonight, but it ain't from eating.
Oh boy,
Marty, another question. Marty, is it all right to ask you another question?
Edit name. Anyway, we'll fix all that. Where you at, Jay?
Well, if you want to fix your camera out, you can try to go to settings and then click on camera.
Savage brought up earlier Scott Hall, who is truly a legend in the business. I want to ask you this, Marty. Is it true that you used Scott Hall's name to get a hotel and trashed it?
High def.
I don't think he heard you.
I don't think you heard the question, right?
He's concentrating on fixing the settings.
No, the only thing I hear is you.
I'll wait.
Oh, you didn't hear Jay, MJ?
No, I can't hear Jay at all.
Jay, say something else.
Hello.
No, nothing.
Can you hear MJ, Jay?
I can hear him all loud and clear.
He says he hears you loud and clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And his screen, it has his name right in the bottom left corner, but it's black screen.
I don't know what you did.
I didn't do nothing. Oh, no, I did. The battery died without warning. So I probably got to redo the whole thing. Probably.
Maybe Savage needs to ask my question to you.
I don't know if it's worth that. If you want to just send me the StreamYard thing,
I'll remove you and I'll send you another invite.
All right, do that. Okay.
Everybody loves to hear Jay.
We'll send them another invite. There's no big deal.
Go ahead.
I'm not in a rush. You know how happy I am, Jay, for the first time in a long time. I don't have to do shit for the next like 4 or 5 days. Really.
I got millions of questions.
Except on Sunday. Sunday, I gotta go to Pennsylvania. I gotta go to the battlefield.
I'm going to relax Sunday.
When are you gonna come to the battlefield with me one time?
As soon as I'm off Monday.
Wouldn't you hang out with all the wrestlers one day?
When I'm off the next day, that means the battlefield could be open on Sunday.
You'll get back early enough. You'll get back by like 10
I'm sure there'll be a holiday coming up or whatever.
Take a sick day.
It's Christmas on Monday and whatnot.
Take a sick day. You come, you work with me all day. You hang out with all the wrestlers. You should come like when there's a good card, though.
So you're saying this Sunday will not be? There he is.
There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
you hear me? Do
you
hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear everybody. See
okay, Marty. Question: Savage brought up Scott Hall as a true legend in the business. You would agree on that. My question to you is: did you ever use Scott Hall's name to get a room and trash it?
No, Dave Peterson, and we've said this on so many, but I don't mind telling again. What had happened was this is when we all first started, Kansas City days, Central States. It was NWA, Harley Race owned it, him and Bob Geigo on the territory. Well, we're all new. We all busted in together, started at the same time, give or take a month or two. Well, this particular night, Dave Peterson, DJ Peterson, some of y'all might remember him, curly haired, had the same, he looked like brown haired Scott Hall, look, and he was built like a mofo. Dave became my best friend in life. He died, unfortunately. I didn't get to share a lot of life with him. But he was special, man. He was nobody he ever met didn't love him to death. I mean, everybody loved him to death. Just a super guy, man. But he had checked in. He was checking in at the hotel, and we get to do a race, athletic race for the wrestlers for AEW. That it was NWA days, and it was Central States Wrestling. So you told him he was with that. They would, give you the athletic rate or whatever rate, discount rate. And David, he went in and they thought he was Scott Hall. They're like, Scott, because they knew the bunch of wrestlers already checked in. Scott, he goes, yeah. He had that scratchy voice. Yeah, that's me, Scott Hall. And so they were like, gave him the discounted rate. Now, from there, we had a party, imagine. And we had a few people over, a few girls, and me. It was me, Dave. I don't think Sean was around yet. In fact, I know he wasn't. But it was me, Dave, and one other of the guys that was a baby face from the boys. And I think one of the girls had brought her boyfriend or a friend of a boyfriend or whatever. So we had a lot of people over, a little bitty damn room, And so what we had done, because it was partying all night, we had started taking the bed apart. It was just one bed or two beds. But, I mean, we were taking the mattress off and laying it on the floor. So you had four beds, a couple people, however many. The box spring was a bit hard to lay on, but that was for the visitors. We were at least getting the mattress. And the only damage was a lamp. Got knocked over during all that moving shit. Got knocked over and broke. I mean, and in fact, they took it out of my check, too, to tell you how much damage there wasn't. It was $45 taken out of my check for a broken lamp. And that was it. There was it wasn't even trash. I'm talking about beer cans all over, trash, just it wasn't even like that. The only thing was that lamp. That was it. And like I said, and the beds, I don't know if we put the beds back in or not, but what it ended up being was the damage, that little hole. Well, Bob Brown got wind of it, and he was a booker, and I don't know why he was so jealous of me. Because we ended up tagging, and everybody, he was the big star until me and him started tagging. I was getting all the attention. I'm the younger guy, the new kid in, and he was at that time 45-ish, with a buzzsaw haircut, like 1950 wrestler, with the little blue tights pulled up under his chest.
Right.
He just couldn't handle it, so he took it out on me, and he took Scott aside and told Scott, I found this out in hindsight, told Scott, he goes, hey, man, Marty's trying to get you fired. He signed in a room and tore it up so that you would get in trouble. And he says, and he told him, and Scott told me this, Bulldog told him, he said, you should go take care of it. Don't worry, you won't get in no trouble. So basically he's saying, go beat his ass and don't worry about it, And Scott did. I was in the dressing room hungover, for Thursday night, which is our TV taping night in Kansas City. And man, all the time I would do that. I would get hungover and I'd crawl under a table or anywhere I could to catch a little bit of a more nap and then have my match. But I'm laying on the table. I'm laying across, catching a little nap. And I wake up on the floor, in a daze, and I look and the table's knocked over. Everybody in the dressing room is just staring at me with that. I don't know what's going on. And I hear Scott, fuck shit, fuck. And he goes, goes out the door, like, slings the door open and walks off. So I'm really confused. And Dave Peterson, my buddy, DJ Peterson, he comes over, he goes, are you okay? You okay? I'm like, what's going on? He goes, well, man, Scott put the boots to you. I'm like, what? He goes, come here. And he took me to like a full length mirror thing in the dressing room. I look and my lips are split, or the bottom lip was split. Half was over here, half was over here.
Wow.
And then my eye was cut and it was hanging open right here. And I'm looking and I'm like, what the? I had no clue. Why? What? And I did hear him cussing and, heading out the door, slinging the door open. Oh, fuck shit, fuck. But when I seen all that, I'm thinking, fuck this shit. I don't know what this is about. I went and found a metal pipe about, 2 feet long, because Scott was big. I mean, he was like, that's when he was like, or he stayed 6'5", 6'6", but he was 290 ripped, and he was a strong motherfucker. Excuse my language, but so I got that pipe, and I'm still like woozy, but I was going across the stage to the heel side of the dressing room. And Bob Geigel stopped me, and even Bulldog Bob Brown. At this point, I don't know nothing about what's going on with Bulldog. Bulldog's acting all innocent, and they're like, "Where you going? Where you going with the fight?" So I said, "I'm going to see Scott." They're like, "No, Marty." Bob Geigel, who was the owner and great guy, he was like, "Marty, get over to the hospital. We'll pay for it. Go over to the hospital, get stitched up. We'll work with you. Don't worry about working tonight. Go get stitched up." I'm like, "No, I'm going to see Scott." Bulldog, sorry ass, he hits me with you're just going to get your ass kicked again. I fucking wanted to hit him with the pipe, man. He whooped my ass when I was asleep on the table. Everybody witnessed. He even admits to it. Like, I should have woke him up for at least. No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't have whooped my ass. You woke me up. But, yeah, so it ended up where Geigel grabbed me, because I was going to go see him with that pipe. And Geigel grabbed me, and I love and respect for Bob. When he grabbed me, he said, "No, Marty, go to the hospital." Okay, I did. That's when I got stitched up. It's a funny story attached to it. I got stitched, I don't know, like 2-3 stitches in the lip, bringing it from back together. And then I think 3 stitches in the eye from where it hit that bone right there, the eye socket bone, and cut, so it was just hanging down a little bit. But so next night we're in St. Louis, Kill Auditorium, world famous arena, especially for wrestling. And I'm there. I'm very upset. You can imagine it's the next night, and stitched up. I got a match coming up, trying to figure out how I'm going to get through this, and I hear Scott's voice. Now I'm actually a little bit nervous. Like, man, I ain't ready to do it right now. Because the next day, the night of, you're not hurting. The next day, when you calm down, adrenaline's gone. It's sore. It hurts everywhere. And so, I remember Scott coming. I see him looking at me from down the hall, walking at me. I'm like, fuck, here we go, round 2. And it's exactly what he said when he got to me. He goes, oh, man, I guess you want to go round to round now. And I said, well, at least one more time, Scott, but can you give me a little bit? Can I heal from this first? And he goes, man, I'm so sorry. And that's when he told me the whole deal. Bulldog told him all that, and it was a setup from Bulldog. He said, I got worked, man. Bulldog worked me. And then told me, the whole thing I told y'all. So now it transferred. It shifted. I was going to beat the shit out of Bulldog, for that. Right. And granted, he was 45-ish. An older man, which, in hindsight now that I'm 60, 45 is not old. But when you're 20, 45 is old, fuck.
We're only getting younger. But St. Louis is a great place. I'm glad you mentioned St. Louis, because you are, without a doubt to me, a chick man. That's what I think of you. That's what I think of Flair. You're the party with Marty. I mean, this is what we listen to. But was there ever a story of you and Sean in a hotel with some girls in St. Louis?
No, Karen put sex-wise, we had tons of fun, with the girls.
Any specific story that just stood out in St. Louis with you and Sean?
Well, one in particular that when I look back and think about it, I'm sorry about my voice sounding.
You're good.
But the one that's, when I think back on it, I think, you sick fucker, man. What the hell was you thinking? The Marriott, all the boys stayed at the airport Marriott. It had a ledge on each level. You open your room and you can step if you wanted to. You're not supposed to, but you step right out. It's like a ledge, probably 3 feet, like a yard. Okay. And a lot of times we would try to skip the fans in the hallway. They'd be out there in the hallway. You go out on that ledge. Now you talk about 10 floors, 12 floors, according to what room you're at. You're going out on that little freaking ledge and walking down a couple windows, tapping, and then going in the room that way on a little bitty ledge. And there was a couple of times that Karen and I in particular, that's the one from Dark Side of the Ring, we would, there'd be so many people in the room and we wanted to hurry up and get it in. We would have sex out on that little ledge. I mean, I'm talking like
just like this.
I mean, it was a good 3 feet, probably a yard, 3 feet. But like I'm holding up right now, that's not much space to be having sex on. And you're up 10 floors, 12 floors. I think it had 14, but they never included 13 on the elevator because that's supposed to be a bad luck thing. But I don't think even today, I don't think you'll ever see 13 in the elevator. And maybe that's changed. But the point being, 10 floors, 8 floors, 3 floors, you're on a little ledge fucking. A big gust of wind, or you get up and stumble, and you've been drinking too. You get up and stumble. Shit, that is something that makes me sick to think about it. That did it like it was nothing back then. Now it's like, what the fuck was wrong with me to fucking think to do that?
I'm gone 5 minutes. I come back and we're telling sex stories.
That's what happens. The one about St. Louis where we'd have sex on the ledge.
Yeah, those are some small ledges.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. It was, there's just so many things we did when we were younger and drunk that it makes you sick to think like somebody up there does love you because you should be dead. I mean, to do it once and get away, okay, but you did this shit nightly in different cities, different ways.
You're definitely a modern miracle of science,
Marty. You done it all. But I know you were training. But talk to us about the training when you started. Is it true that you just started training without a ring. Is that
Jerry Oates. I was just talking to. I don't want to give nothing away right now for Mizzy because he don't know, but one of our guests coming up. We were just talking about because he's like beating up and he's younger. He's 10 years younger than me, but maybe even 12, 14, and he's walking as bad as me when I'm walking, we were talking about when we trained, Jerry had horsehair mats, like tumbling mats, old ones, like in the 70s, where the gymnasts with tumbling mats from PE, at the school. You know what mats I'm talking about? They're horsehair. I mean, it's cheap ass mats, not even really the foam ones.
Super cheap.
It was with the horsehair mats. If you dance around or bounce in the same area, that horsehair spreads and it just becomes the vinyl and the floor, the concrete floor. You take a hip toss and it's like wham, like God, shit. Even if you know how to land, when you learn how to land, it's still that sudden stop on concrete. But it was mats, and it would put together, no ropes. It was just in a room. It was in his wife's aerobic room. So when we would like do something where you shoot them into the ropes, we'd run against the wall, put your hands up, push off the wall to go back to the middle. And going into my first match, I had never hit a rope. But I was so excited about getting going. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think like, man, you don't know how to hit the ropes. And he didn't tell me none of this shit. He was trying to be so old school. They didn't even tell you like what we call smartening up. I don't know what they call it now. That's so way old school. But they didn't, what they call smarten you up, letting you know it's a work. They didn't do that back then until your match, And so Jerry did that to me. My first match, I'm going out thinking the guy's big, because I wrestled in college. It was pretty good too. I'm looking at the guy; he's way bigger, but I'm thinking, just get him to move around. He'll blow up. Go up. Blowing up means out of breath. Just keep moving around. I can get him. So I'm looking at it as a shoot. I'm thinking that how I'm going to beat. And then the guy comes up and tells me, his name is Sims. He says, just listen to me out there. And then I was like, it was a kind of a relief, like, because, now okay, we're going to be like we do in the school, giving hip tosses, working with each other, whereas I was thinking it's going to be a fight. I mean, when do I throw a fist? But, and again, when I hit the ropes for the first time, I did pretty good. I mean, I'm sure it looked like a damn mad stork coming off of it, but and the worst was it. No, not forever. Never. The first time I ever hit the ropes was in my first match. And the corner was the worst, hitting the turnbuckle. Because you got to hit and that sudden stop, you got to brace for it. You can't, when you're hitting the ropes, like I say, you run up to the wall and push off of it. When you're hitting the corner, that sudden stop, I guess you could run into the wall if you were even told to. Jerry, I don't want to talk bad about him, but yeah, man, it was brutal the way we got brought in, And the sad thing is, when I came back 20 years ago, back to Columbus for a little bit, he wanted me to help him. Hey, would you mind helping me out with some new students? I'm like, you still got a school, okay? And he had a ring, and he had them horsehair mats and shit. The ring, he had parts of it were broken. I mean, they still didn't use it. Still on the damn horsehair mats. And it's like, God damn, bro. But
you talk about a lot of people help you. Why don't you talk about how Rufus Jones helped you? How did he help you?
Rufus R. Jones, man. A lot of this business is psychology. In fact, the majority of it is psychology. Because you look at the guys today, they're all athletes. They're all great athletes. Back in the day,
they come from football or
martial arts, boxing,
right,
football, NFL. Back in those days, you was just raw bone badass. The guys were, they were beer bellied, smoking a cigar. Just tough guy like Harley Race was still smoking cigarettes like a pack before he went to the ring, and he liked to play cards. So if you were around him, your face, you were going to leave with a yellow all over your face for all the damn cigarette smoke.
You're going to smell like an ashtray. Pretty much.
I mean, it's shit, but to think that all that's going in his lungs and he's going to go right out there and wrestle like nothing to it. And he did. Of course, it was like a snail's pace. You know, it wasn't no fast movement. But Harley was typical, probably the king of all of them, but typical of the boys back then. Just raw bone tough. You know, didn't go to a gym, just had that tendon and ligament strength, you know, where you punch a guy and knock his head off. Whereas boxers work on hitting right so that you can do that. You know, those raw bone guys back in the old days, they was just raw bone tough. You know, a six pack. In fact, Vince actually said one time in a meeting, the first meeting I ever had, you know, me and Sean had just came in, had a meeting because Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik had just got caught on the Garden State Parkway or wherever it was with cocaine and weed in the middle of the console. And they got busted, and it was all over the news. And they were working a storyline against each other. You know, it was USA against Iran, and then they get busted together with cocaine and weed. And so, you know, Vince had to let them go, and he had a meeting. You know, that was Sean and I's first day in. Was right after that happened, and Vince explained to us all how the business has changed. And what Sheik did and what Duggan did will no longer be tolerated. He goes, unfortunately, this is Vince talking, unfortunately, they're great talents, but they'll never get to use them again in this company. Of course, about a few months later, they were back. But he had a meeting talking about the old time. He goes, you know, the business used to be a six-pack, a cigar, and a blowjob. We've evolved from all that. We're up there with the NFL now, you know, which we're still not. But, you know, we was getting that way compared to, you know, the territories. And that's what made it so bad on Sean and I that night. They said that was the first time Vince said he has since had meeting with the guys like that, the group. But they said that was the first time. Everybody was shocked, like, wow, Vince is going to talk to us, you know. This is wild. This is different. That was our first day in, so we didn't know any different. But all the guys talking about it. So that's the night we go out and Jimmy Jack Funk acts up and, you know, the whole broken glass and the rockers, these guys were tearing the bar up and all that. Vince just had a meeting that day talking about professionalism. That night, the new guys, these rocker guys, go tear up a hotel bar. It's gone, one and done.
And who came up with the Midnight Rockers name?
Well, Midnight Rockers was AWA days, and that was kind of come up with circumstantially.
Really?
Me and Kurt Hennig was hanging out with us. Kurt was a good one, man. Kurt was a man's man. We all loved Kurt. We were Leon Baby Bull White at the time. You know, they wanted a character baby face, and he was big, burly, you know, red, you know, Van Vader, you know, big old fucker. And he played football for Los Angeles Rams. Got hurt, didn't really get his career going. But so they wanted him to be a character babyface. They wanted him, bull power. They wanted him to scream and flex because he was big, man. It was so funny, though. He would come out and do that. Bull power. And then he turned to Larry Nelson, the announcer, goes, how you doing, Larry Nelson? With a real high-pitched voice. It was like, oh, my God, it's embarrassing. As he comes out, bull power. Hi, Larry Nelson. But so with what the hell was I going to say about that? I forgot where I was going with it.
I know where you were heading there. I just want to know how the name came up. You and Kurt.
So Leon wanted to party.
Right.
You know, Vegas, it was a showboat where we did our TV tapings every third week. Right. Leon was ready to, you know, he's new in the area, territory, so he's ready to go. Like, I heard these rockers guys, or Sean and Marty. I heard these guys, they're the partiers. They hang out with them. And so we got introduced to Leon, and, you know, we love everybody. You know, how you doing? Good. Cool. And we were just, you know, we were hung over because we had partied every day that week. Now it's the weekend. You know, every story is hung over. Yeah. Well, I've said it, and anybody will vouch for it. If we were on the road 300 days out of the year, we partied 290 of them. I mean, it was like the guy. It would be so funny that we'd party Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come Friday, now everybody wants to party, and we're like this, like we're burnt out. But all it took was couple shots, get going. Back then, a lot of, cocaine, and boom. All right, let's go. You know, so that's kind of how it happened with Leon. He's wanting to party with Sean and Marty. I hear they're the ones to hang with, and we had not picked up yet. We were going slow, and Leon was complaining to Kurt. We were all sitting there together, and he's like, "Oh, she said these guys were partiers." With that high pitched Leon voice. You said these are the partiers, and Kurt says he goes, "It's not midnight. They only get started till midnight." And right as he said that, the music playing in the not arena, the showboat, the casino. You remember the song "Living After Midnight, Rocking Till the Dawn"?
Classic song.
I mean, it came on right when Kurt said they don't start to midnight. We all looked at, there was that moment that, oh, wow, that moment. That was that moment. And that's how we came up with Midnight Rockers. We actually used that song as our interest, ring interest music. Yeah, it was just magical like that. But that's how the Midnight Rockers. And once we changed over to WWF, they had a copyright on Midnight Rockers. So, Vince had told us, come up with a name. You could do, come up with it yourself. And we just couldn't, man. It was the same thing because they had asked us at AWA, and we racked our heads and couldn't come up with nothing. And Kurt, that whole moment, like, there's your name, there's your music too. With AWA, or when we went to WWF, Vince says, go figure out a name. What we did, me and Sean, we said, let's get 100 names. I'll get 100 names that I think's cool. You get 100. If we have one that crosses, that would be the one because we both thought of it. Nothing. In fact, I only come up with like 70. He come up with 60 names, and none of them matched. It wasn't even close. And so we were a little nervous. We went to Vince because we had a meeting, and he goes, well, what did you come up with? Very interested here. We're like, man, we couldn't come up with nothing. And we were scared like we were going to get fired. But he goes, well, what do the guys call you when they're looking for you? What would they call you? Like when you're looking for the guy, they say, oh, the Rockers are up. He goes, you're the Rockers. Just like that. That's how easy that came. I mean, Vince, simple is best, That's how we went from Midnight Rockers to Rockers. What do they call you in the dressing room? The Rockers. And where the Rockers at? He goes, that's your name. It's like, wow, we racked our ass, man, and got nothing. And he did it just like that.
Simple word, simple.
That man is brilliant. I know he gets a bad rap. But I don't think Mizzy likes him. I don't know if you like him or not. Do you, Miz? Is Miz with us?
Miz is with us, but in spirit. Savage, though, is here in the reality.
Do you like Vince?
I love Vince. He's my father.
Yeah, he is. He's actually a great person.
Vince had sex with my mother. I'm sure of it.
He messed with your mother.
I think he's my father. I think he banged my mom. My mom doesn't want to tell me.
Wow, man, I'm bad. Man, I'm the bad guy.
I would be so happy if it came true that Vince was my father. I want the DNA test.
You just want the money.
I don't give a fuck. I would just take the company.
Well, with that, but then you got to argue with Triple H and Stephanie.
No. I mean, not the company, like it's the actual company, his company, just to spend time with him.
Okay.
Sentimental, man. I don't care about money. Money can't buy what Vince can provide from here.
Yeah, but you're right. The money thing is no longer. Maybe because look at my hair. I should care so I can get that fixed.
It's definitely not Rockers hair anymore.
Yeah, money is just something seemed to be. It never was for me. Because the way you've heard, we've talked. My upbringing. money, we didn't have it, you know. So the least amount, as long as you could eat and be, you know, inside a house or whatever, you know, success, you know. So money, all that rich stuff never really resounded with me. And I don't know if I used that word right, but didn't really care for money. It's just want to do as good as I can do. Whatever money's around from that, okay. You know, that's what I tell some of my kids when I have seminars, like, what's the reason? Are you, why? Why did I go down and have everyone say why they want to get into wrestling? The two worst answers I would hear was the fame. I want to be famous. Like, the fuck? Which I do understand. But, you know, I want to be famous and I want to be rich. Two worst reasons to get into wrestling because of all the guys that I've trained over the years, the ones that were doing it because they loved it are the ones that made it. The ones that came in, I want to be famous or I want to be rich. A couple backdrops and they weren't back the next day. Like, no.
Marty, don't you feel like the product we're watching, no matter AEW or WWE, NXT or Raw or SmackDown, that's what we're seeing? Do you feel that? Because that's what I feel like.
Well, what do you mean? Like
just exactly the way you see it. They just come to make famous. They have no passion for the business. They just want to put their name out there. And if they could go to Hollywood or anywhere else or use any other outlet or podcast such as us, they'll do it. That's how I feel like. Do you feel like that?
I think the product has evolved so much from what it evolved when we got in. We were getting away from that 6-pack and a blowjob with a big ass cigar and a beer belly. We were getting away from that, and you know, after us, it's evolved into now it's just like star athletes, you know, and right. Intelligent people that are making good decisions to invest their money and do good with it. So it's as far as getting in it for the wrong reason. I don't know.
Do you feel like that? Like these younger talent coming up are just in it for the wrong reason, not really having the passion? A
story I like to tell at these seminars is Sean was approached just, I don't know, 10, 15. Remember when they were doing Tough Enough? Al Snow, I think, was running it.
Absolutely. Raven won, first one.
Yeah, they had found what they were calling the next. They were looking for the next, always looking for the next big thing, right?
Right.
And they had found what they thought was the next big thing. You know, we got one because it was just nobody doing, you know, shit. From what I understand, I wasn't there, but you know, there was nobody outshining anybody else. It was just all a bunch of people. But they found that one year and they wanted Sean to chime in on it. Like, Sean, come see him. You got to see him. We found him. We got the next big thing. We can start working with him. We want to work him with you and yada, yada, yada. And Sean said, nah, sorry, I don't need to see it. He ain't gonna do nothing. And they're like, oh, you seen him work? Huh?
Good call.
Well, and Sean, they were like, oh, you've seen him work? And Sean said, I don't need to see him work. And everybody, even when I heard it, I was like, huh? And as it turned out, he just kept, you know, and they're like, well, why would you want to see? Why do you not? He said, because remember, they gave him a contract, $200,000 in the contract.
Right.
And he said, if it takes $200,000 to make them want to get in the business, I don't need to see them. They're not going anywhere. Sure enough, that guy that they were all big on, never heard of him. Nobody's ever heard of him. So, I mean, you know, Sean had the point there. Same thing I teach, you know. You got to be in it for this right here, the love of it, you know. You can make it, like if you're a Brock Lesnar, you can make it. But, I mean, I don't know that he's in love with it. I mean, he does it matter-of-factly, you know, or likes beating up on people or whatever.
That's why I got into it. I got into it because I loved it.
Yeah, and that's the reason anybody should get into it. I mean, it's not like it's fun, but getting thrown on your ass, you know, 20 times a night and by different guys, some of them don't do it so well. You can't land no matter what. You can't land without getting hurt. That's not so much fun.
I got a question for you. What's the biggest receipt you ever left somebody in the ring? Like maybe they did a move to you and they hurt you, and then you just got up and laced them with one, hit them with a chop, punched them in the face.
No, nobody really. The only person I came close with, and it was my first year in the business. It was in Wichita, Kansas. Hacksaw Higgins, his name, big old boy, man, like 6'6", kind of, sort of like One Man Gang. Remember how he was built? It was sort of like that. You know, he wasn't muscular, wasn't dumpy, but so right in the middle of that. But old Hacksaw was the Higgins. He was being real sloppy that night. I was working with him. And, I kept telling him, like, hey, bro, man, he's up. Shit. I was new. And I'm trying to tell this guy who was a veteran, hey, ease up a little bit. And it maybe as it didn't ease up, I started thinking like either he can't or he doesn't want to, and the fact that he's so big, I'm thinking he don't want to ease up. So, I mean, I raised up on him and, because I said something to him, I said, do it again and we're going to have a problem. And I think it was something like a slam, but it's so hard and fast. I landed on my side. I couldn't even land right. And I popped right up without selling it or nothing and came after him. And he, big old boy, scooted out the ring and stayed away from me, and I calmed down. But that's the closest. That was it. I've never had a problem with anybody in the ring.
Yeah, no, somebody did a doink splash to me once at the school, and they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
What's a doink splash like?
Where they like a bonsai drop, but to your back.
Ugh.
Like, let's say you're laying flat on your stomach, they jump and they land on your back.
Shit! Yeah, that's
He did it too low. He did it way too low, and like I felt like I got like a stinger. I got up, I beat the fuck out of that.
Man.
I beat the fuck out of that boy. And I think Jay one time saw somebody give me a frog splash, and then they landed on my chest with their knees. I got up and I fucking beat this kid's ass for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That frog splash. I think RVD does it. What's his name? Guerrero did it. So many guys would do it, but some of them do it nice and opened up when they land, so it doesn't hurt so bad. Some of them haven't opened up. That's the ones that like really mash you. And it's like, man, you can't do it right.
Broke my chest cavity. He could have in my chest, man.
Yeah, and that's not
him a lesson.
I gotta see. You guys show me, man. They got all kinds of shit going on. You guys send me some pictures of when you said you were 375.
Oh, I was actually 425 at one point.
Well, that's what you say. I just find that hard to believe, though.
Well, Jade, I don't think maybe you saw me. Did you see me when I was ranked #1 in the world at Gears of War 3? Did you ever come over the house, smoke up?
I remember you were definitely addicted to that game, and I thought it was the coolest game then. And you were addicted 24/7.
Did I ever look 425 pounds, Jay?
That's what I'm saying. I got to see that.
What's the most you've ever seen me weigh or look that I looked? Jay's seen
maybe 310.
What are you now? 270?
Probably 278.
Yeah, that's good.
After tomorrow, I'll probably be 292.
But you're thick, though. I mean, you're thick. You're not like, dumpy.
He's big, so yeah, he has the weight. He put on the strength. So
I think
it's not like blob. You know what I mean?
Most of my weight is in my bones. I'm just heavy boned. Like I'm someone you don't want to get slapped from.
Why would you slap somebody?
Hey,
crazy.
You changed.
Come on, Marty.
He's been partying with you too much. He wants to beat up.
Have you not been outside lately? Have you not seen humanity? Do you not go to McDonald's and get served by morons that shouldn't be working there?
No, that's Walmart.
No, that too, man.
Well, don't forget the cigar he took from the guys.
I mean, listen, I'll put it like this, Marty. Society is dumber than ever, and the reason why it is the way it is because we cannot even slap our kids because you go to jail now. The kid call the cops on you. Back in the day, you did something stupid, you got slapped in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, if a dog attacks somebody, they're gonna sue your ass. Like
now, kids today,
so fucked up, man.
Kids today are slapping their parents.
It's ridiculous.
Man, I was watching some shit. I'm not gonna get into all the political shit, but I was watching some ridiculous shit that's going on out there. And my biggest concern is when the war's breaking out with all these other countries that are going to jump in on this like World War III. I'm right here at Fort Benning, the biggest army base in the country. That's the first place they're going to attack, and I'm right here.
I'm still going to argue with you that New York's getting attacked first, but
But well, yeah, you're probably right because of the population and the
But
command center.
say bye to me and Jay. We're effed.
Well, you better have some underground bunkers.
Yeah. We live in Queens, right? So if we want to escape, our options are go to the end of Long Island and get on a boat, okay, which that takes about 3 hours to do, or go over one of the bridges and pray that you make it over the bridge. So if they wanted to, they blow up, let's say, the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Triborough Bridge, the Queens Bridge.
Go to Tappan Zee.
They blow that one too. We're done. No one's going anywhere, man. Bro, I'll put it to you like this, man. A garbage truck pulls over, okay? There's a traffic jam for an hour. What do you think will happen when a bomb goes off and takes out a bridge? We're fucked.
Well, did you hear about the crash in Canada and the border? Like there was a car accident.
What happened?
You know that lovely old mayor or governor of New Jersey, what's his name, Christie, a few years back.
Oh, that moron.
He shut down a bridge going to somewhere because he was mad at the mayor of that city didn't do something he asked, and shutting that one bridge down fucked him up for days. For the backed up shit, and I guess it just took that long, maybe a day, but it's just. That's fucked up. That's why when he's running for president, I'm like, no, get your ass out of here, man.
You should see what happened last year. I think it was January, February. Some crazy shit happened. I think it had something to do with construction and an accident. And people were stuck from Bronx to New Jersey. They couldn't go home for like 15 hours.
Damn.
And people, they were running out of gas. They couldn't even have heat. Some people almost froze to death.
Damn.
It was like the middle of winter. And New York winter can get very serious.
Yeah, I had a couple of them. I was there for a couple of years during that. But man.
New Jersey gets even worse. You get hammered in New Jersey.
Yeah, when I was in Tom's River, it was rough, man. You've got to fucking shovel out the damn driveway every damn morning.
I'm not looking forward to the snow. I hope we have a light season this year. Does Georgia get any snow?
Once in a while, you get one. And that's it for
it lands in it and probably melts as soon as it touches.
We have gotten up to a foot of pile up. But then you talk about once every 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Nothing crazy. But you guys get tornadoes.
Yeah, bad. We're in a tornado.
And you get hurricanes probably, or at least after effects.
Well, Florida, the coastline, yeah, they do.
How about earthquakes?
I don't think we've had one around here. Not effective. You might get a little shake, but no, that's more out west, I guess.
New York has had small earthquakes over the last 30 years.
I've been here. I had some recent,
some noticeable ones in the middle of the night. That because I was always a night owl, and I remember I was playing the game one night, and I felt a little like I was like, what? Because if we get a real all-out earthquake, that's scary. Like earthquake is. Probably the scariest.
Well, yeah, and I tell you, me and Sean experienced one in San Francisco. We had been hearing about all these earthquakes at tremors. They get a little like small one, and they're saying it's going to build up to a big one. So we already had some. When we went out to the West Coast to wrestle, we already knew, like, well, be careful. How you gonna be careful? and it came to fruition that we experienced it. We were going to our room from the car. We just went to the gym and started feeling like vibration. Not nothing, but just sort of like a big heavy truck or a train goes by. How you vibrate a little. It was like that. But then all of a sudden we're going back and forth, and that's when we realized we looked at each other like shit. And Sean's like starts to run. I said, "Where are you going to run?" I mean, the ground is moving. Where are you going to run? I got us in the park. So stay out here in the parking lot so nothing falls on us. Don't go. He was going back to the room.
Marty Jannetty demonstrating intelligence, and Shawn Michaels demonstrating flight.
Panic. Yeah, he wanted to go to the room. I'm like, no, stay out where there ain't shit going to fall on us. But it's just a scary feeling when the ground is moving. Where are you going to run?
You can get fucked there. The ground opens up, you fall in, crack your head. I mean, it's nuts.
All right, I'm gonna run, guys. I got to go do some damage.
All right, Marty. Last question. Georgia Tech. Who you got Saturday?
Which one?
Georgia and Georgia Tech. Who you got this Saturday?
Oh, that's the easy one, Georgia. The problem is
He's got the Bulldog shirt on, Jay.
Yeah,
Hey, maybe you want to do
reason.
Who knows?
But there's the following week. But look, I have my hat on for the following week because Alabama. You know, Jay, I got to be lucky in the fact that Alabama in my young years were great because they had Bear Bryant, legendary coach, original national championships. I'm on the river. I go across the bridge. I'm in Alabama. I stay on this side of the bridge. I'm in, Georgia. So University of Georgia, that was my favorite. Most of us, and then Alabama. So I got lucky enough to have two great schools back then, and then Georgia failed out, but they both kind of took a back row for a while. And when Saban came back, excuse me, Saban saved Alabama and got them back on top again. And then Kirby Smart, who studied, he was over there with Alabama.
Yeah,
he comes, takes over Georgia. And so now Georgia's badass. In fact, when this game happens in the SEC championship, I'm a nervous wreck because the way they got it structured out now, they're going to bounce Alabama out no matter what. Oregon and Florida State and Washington, all of them would have to lose for Alabama to have a chance to move in. Texas, and Texas beat them by one play. End of the game. Texas beat Alabama. So Alabama's not going to make it to the national championship. So therefore, I definitely Georgia, because Georgia can do something too that's never been done. Three-peat, 3 years in a row, national champions.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
I know you're not lying about being next to Alabama because I woke up one morning when I was at your house and I Googled breakfast near me and I go to a diner that's 4 minutes away. And then I read the thing and it says Alabama. Welcome to Alabama. I'm like, what the hell?
Right over the bridge. Well, for my house here, you just went to, you took a right when
By his lights have garbage bags, by the way. His street lights in Columbus have garbage bags. I don't know if they fixed that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy shit that you didn't even get to see a whole lot because we stayed busy.
I have to come back and go down there. We're going to do a whole trip and I want to go around and we'll do a documentary. We'll do all that. But Marty, thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow night. Join us for the party with Marty at 10 p.m. Marty's out of here.
Love y'all. Love you, Jay.
Love you too, brother. Good night. He's out of here, Jay. It's just me and you. We might as well close out the show. I'm sure you had a good time right there. I gave you a little one-on-one time with MJ.
Got so many questions, but yeah, I had a good time.
I think he'll be back. I think he likes.
I got some good stories out of it. Marty's the man. Love you, Marty.
You did a good job, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jay.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Savage. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching.
Everybody have a good night. Be safe, and we'll see you next week.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.